Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought that I would do a 19 and pregnant story and share my story with you guys, because I know that there's a lot of people out there who are teenagers and they're pregnant. There's a lot of scares and there's a lot of trials and tribulations that you go through and a lot of questions that you have. So I thought I would just share my story with you and just share what it was like for me to be a teen parent. And if you guys haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, give this video a huge thumbs up and make sure you hit that little bell icon below so that you can get notified every single time this bitch uploads a new video. Yay! And so if you guys would like to watch this video, then continue watching. Okay, so my 19 and pregnant story, which is super crazy because he was my next door neighbor at the time, and it started out with us just like being friends and stuff. And of course, you know, what can I say? I'm coughing. Huh? Can I pray? Dang girl, look at her trying to, she's like, you need to pray in the middle of my video. He was my next door neighbor, and we had gotten pregnant very short in our relationship, and it was, I want to say, like 3 months into the relationship I had gotten pregnant. I feel like Stefan was really supportive when I told him. I had like sent him a picture and I was like, you know, like I'm pregnant and stuff, and there wasn't like gender reveals or anything like that when I first found out I was pregnant. So it was nothing like, oh my god, like I'm gonna do this gender reveal, surprise him. And number one, it was like a freaking secret for my family, because I had to figure out exactly like what I was gonna do. So but Stefan was definitely very supportive, and me and Stefan were only 3 months into dating, and you know, in our favor it worked out. But I know in a lot of cases, you know, a lot of my friends, they've been with their spouses for 5 years and sometimes it just doesn't work out. A lot of things change after you have babies, and I definitely feel like kids change your situation a lot because it brings out the other person's true. And the thing is, me and Stefan were very much so partiers before I had Gianna. You know, we smoked, we drank, we didn't really have like, we didn't have really a care in the world. We didn't really have any real responsibilities, you know. And I feel like you really don't know that until you have kids, but we really didn't have any real responsibilities. And you know, just thank God that like we grew up and we put that past behind us, even though I felt like maybe because I was mom I really didn't have a choice. But Stefan, I felt like he kind of, you know, like he kind of teeter-tottered. But I also feel like that's with a lot of dads. It wasn't like he just like was like, I'm having a baby, oh, like, you know, he definitely struggled and he had his moments, especially when I was pregnant. But thank God I was like a really happy pregnant woman, so I didn't, like, I was upset at times, but I feel like for the most part, for dealing with it, like I was really happy just because like I was pregnant. And then after I found out I was having a girl, it was even more so, you know, I was even more so just super duper happy with the situation. And number one, I was so young, and I feel like I was like, you know, moving along with my life, even though my mom thinks very differently. She's like, you wasn't doing that then, old girl. I felt like I was really nervous at first, really scared, because I was pregnant and I was 19. But I also, when I thought about having an abortion, it scared me even more than actually having the child, because just the thought of having an abortion and having like a baby taken out of you and whatnot was like really scary for me. So I definitely did not want to get an abortion. So when I had told my mom and I had came to her, she was the first person I told outside of Stefan that I was pregnant. I remember taking my pregnancy like in our little 1-bedroom place that me and my mom were staying at, and like she was there, and then I was also, before I even found out, I just felt pregnant. Like I felt really weird. I was taking prenatal pills before I even knew. My mom was like, oh, what are you taking? And I was like, oh, just some daily vitamins, like, you know, and I kept them hidden. And so I literally was just, you know, preparing myself. And so when I had told my mom, I remember she was like talking about my brother, and she was like saying something that he did, and she was like, yeah, like your brother. And I was like, I have something to tell you. And I remember my mom being like, what? Like, what do you have to tell me about your brother? I'm pregnant. Like I told my mom, like, I'm pregnant. And I just remember her being like she was like, oh my god. And I started crying because I was like, I just don't want to get an abortion. And like she like really understood me. And I totally remember, like, we were in Old Town Sacramento. Like I remember the exact spot that we were at. And so it was really scary for me, number one. But like my mom was like, you know, after she was like, you know, we'll figure it out, like, you know, like you know, it is what it is, like you're pregnant. And as time went on, like she just became very excited about it, because like I did have a good spouse. Like he wasn't a loser, like he didn't not work or anything like that. So she was like, you know, in the end, like I know that you guys will be fine. I was just really nervous on telling my dad and my brother, and I felt like it took me a little bit longer to tell them. And then when I did tell them, obviously they were just like super helicopter, like, what are you doing? I can't believe this happened and stuff. And like my brother was like, I definitely want to talk to you. And like I just felt like I was so upset, like even with my dad, like his response, because my dad definitely was like in my life, but I also just felt like because he was so distant, like emotionally from my life, that he really didn't have a say in what I did, because I was 19, I was an adult at that time. So if I chose to have a child, like that was my choice. I was already dealing with it from my dad and getting all these text messages from them. Like when I had told my brother, I was like, this is what I want to do. Like I was done. Like I was like, this is what I want to do. I'm having this baby. You can either support me or you don't have to support me, but I know what I'm doing. I'm an adult, I'm making decisions, and I have a plan. And after that, like my brother was like, hey, like I respect it, like, you know, that's what you want to do, you want to have a baby, like I believe you and stuff. And he was just like I believe in you. But it just took some coming around for him, you know, it took him some time to come around. Obviously we really like were stressed about like where to live. So I felt like, yeah, like you guys, other teen moms, you guys may worry about like where you are gonna live and how you're gonna pay bills and things like that. And I just feel like if you have a supportive family and they let you stay, I honestly would say to stay with your family if they let you, just because it is really a hard situation of moving out with your own, and especially you know, with your partner. But I would definitely say put your best foot forward too. Don't just be like, oh, my parents are just gonna let me stay here, or my family's gonna let me stay here, like I'm just gonna, you know, stay here for 3 years or whatever. You know, go to school, get a job, like really try to do the best that you can for your family and most definitely your child. Because when I was pregnant, I started school for a new major. I started a new major, and it was early childhood education. Before that I was going to be like a paralegal, but it really just wasn't my interest. And when I took early childhood education, it kind of just clicked for me, and I was getting 4.0s, straight A's the whole semester. So it just worked out really good for me, and I knew that this was something that I wanted to do. So I definitely feel like being busy when I was pregnant definitely helped me out. So I went to school when I was pregnant until I had Gianna, and then after I had her, me and Stefan, we bought a 1-bedroom trailer, and we moved it onto the property that he was working on, which was his grandparents' property. And so we just made it do, you know, with what we had. That's what we had, and we were very appreciative and very grateful for it. It's been like our trusty dusty old pal. Like anytime we're like, oh, gotta move, or like transition, like we'll go back to our little trailer. So I'm definitely thankful for my trailer, and that's like literally like where Gianna was, like that's where we bring her home, to like our little trailer. And we had like her little, it wasn't like a real crib, but we had like a pack and play that had like the newborn set up on top and stuff. And so like it was just like super awesome. And then when she was 6 months old, I went back to school and took more classes for early childhood education. And yeah, so I just feel like going to school and doing things like that definitely helped me out. If you don't have financial aid, girl, go check that out, FAFSA. And people also say that you have to pay financial aid back. That's a lie. You do not. It's 110% money that is given to you or granted to you. It's not, you do not have to pay it back. So definitely check out FAFSA if you know, don't make enough to pay for school and you do want to go to school, because they do pay you to go to school. They pay for your classes, and they also pay you to go to school. So I definitely would recommend that. And then also, if you guys need like Child Action, they also help for, you know, young families or families in need, lower income families. They help you pay for your kids to go to a good school, because it really is super important, especially in their younger years of life. And you know, I know a lot of people think that it's not important, but it's super duper important, because those first 3 years are the building blocks to their life, and it's really the foundation, especially for their brains. So if they're not learning and they're not counting and they're not, you know, developing skills, there's literally such a higher percentage of them dropping out of school, such a higher percentage of them not being interested, not getting good grades, not wanting to go to college and things like that. So it has such a big impact, and people think that it doesn't, and it really does. That's why they have it available to lower income families. You have to make more than almost $4,000 a month. So if you're making $25 an hour, you're not going to qualify. If you make anything under $25 an hour, you're going to qualify. Definitely go apply for Child Action. If you guys have any more questions, I'm definitely going to link down below Child Action. I believe the one for the Bay Area is like Children's Council. I will also link that one down below if you live in the Bay Area. I'll also link down some resources for pregnancies like WIC and all those other things that I definitely took advantage of. There's definitely, when people need help, it's like help that's granted and like assisted to people who genuinely need it. So I've also paid into it for myself, so shout out to me. I'll also link all that stuff down below. If any young moms have anything that you guys would like to share or talk about, let me know, because it's definitely a scary experience and it's truly what you believe you want to do, because I'm also very pro-choice. I will also put my Instagram and all my information down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Until next